It's actually funny. You kind of know today is going to be a pretty decent day when you just wake up and immediately one of your all-time favorite Broadway songs just seems to, pop in your head. And I consider this particular song one of my favorite Broadway songs, partly because I actually saw this show during my days at Trinity Pauling when once a month, every Thursday, we would go to New York City, if you signed up for it and paid for it, obviously. It was all included what you had to pay for, everything else, so take that as you will. And we saw a lot of great shows. We did. We saw the Fantastics. I saw West Side Story. Yeah, I finally, like the Sharks and the Jets. I actually finally saw that. And, well, I will admit it wasn't my favorite. I can definitely see the hype. It's definitely worth all the accolades it gets. We saw the 39 Steps. I actually got to see Guys and Dolls, which, for those of you who don't know, some of you who've known me for the longest time will remember this. Guys and Dolls was the first high school play I was in. Because, here's the thing. I missed out on the 7th grade play at Hors D'oeuvres Middle School. I did the 8th grade play, which was DuckTales and Bobby Sox. I wanted to worry about doing sports and football when I first got to Horseheads High School, so I didn't do the fall production of Cinderella, which that is easily one of my biggest regrets ever. And then I did the spring performance, which was Guys and Dolls. It was the very first one I was in. And don't get me wrong, that one will have a special place in my heart. And seeing it on Broadway really made me think, okay, this is easily one of the best. I don't care what anyone says. But hands down, and to my brothers at Trinity Pauling, you guys are probably going to want to say this with me, the best one we saw was In the Heights. It was In the Heights. Man, it was awesome. And here's the thing. Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton fame? Well, what do you think he wrote and starred in before Hamilton? That's right, it was In the Heights. We actually saw Lin-Manuel Miranda as the titular character of Usnavi in the Heights. So, yeah. In fact, I just woke up being like, good morning, Usnavi. In fact, just for a laugh, I know the trailer for In the Heights came out, the movie trailer that is, came out like 6 months ago. And it's supposed to be premiering this year. Now, with COVID-19 and everything going on, if we have to wait till 2021, I'm okay with it. Because I am really hesitant on man, I hope it's good. Now, the one thing I did see that had going for it, outside of the fact that, the music was pretty spot on in the trailer, is the fact that, I forget the guy's name, but it was directed by the same guy who directed Crazy Rich Asians, which was actually a pretty solid movie, I say. So, I am actually holding out hope that it works. I really hope it works. Because that's a movies that I really want to do, but if it turns out to be bad, I don't want to. So, take that as you will. I'll put a link to the trailer in the description up top or down below, whatever platform you're watching this on. But with that being said, we are on Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. And you know what? I think it's kind of fitting I'm wearing this red shirt because I actually wore this shirt last Thursday. But obviously I washed it. But when I think about it, Thursdays is when Hat Ones is on. And when you think about it, the very first buffalo chicken wings that were ever made were made with Frank's Red Hot. Yes. So, you know what? I'm just saying this right now. Apple pie, fantastic. Burgers, all sorts of like great American foods. Yeah, they have their place. I love them all. But I say on to you, one of the most American foods ever to come out of anywhere? Buffalo chicken wings. Would you like to know why? Well, let's see. The original recipe called for Frank's Red Hot. Chicken wings are white meat, and you always, always, always eat chicken wings with blue cheese. See, red, white, and blue. There you go. Wings are the most are now contender for one of the most American foods ever. I'm so glad I picked that to be my hors d'oeuvre, my full course menu. So, yeah, that was, I wanted to get that out there. So, anyone wants to, argue with that, feel free to comment, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And I know that there's, people who like to eat their wings with ranch sauce, for those of you who, eat with ranch sauce, I just have to say there are two kinds of people. There are those who eat it with blue cheese, and those who are absolutely wrong. Okay then, so, actually, I want to talk about, wow, I stare at the camera for too long, and between how, sort of dry it is, the sun that's, glaring right in my face, that really got me. That's, tears in my eyes. Holy cow. Right. I want to talk a little bit about, with Hot Ones returning. I mean, I'm not holding out hope for it to be a big production. I mean, we are still recovering from everything that's happened in the last couple of months. So the fact that Tom Segura is going to be essentially doing a Zoom sort of chat on Hot Ones, that's fine. I mean, baby steps. No, I'm willing to, we'll build up to it. It's fine. We waited this long. We can wait longer. Especially since we know we're sort of getting a taste of what's to come. Figuratively, of course, because we're not going to be eating the hot wings. Although, that does actually beg the question, what is Sean going to be asking Tom Segura? Because I can think of several things that he's going to ask. So, in fact, I'll let you know if I'm right about it tomorrow. But, foremost, one of the things Sean's going to ask, no question, is how has he been holding up with, everything going on? Which is understandable. If I were to see, a friend after a long time, especially after, the quarantine, social distancing and stuff, I'd ask how they were doing as well. I would hope they were, that they were doing well. Sorry, yeah. What was I watching? Or what was I saying? Yeah, asking, sorry, I'm looking at my computer at the same time, and I'm getting a whole bunch of, pop-ups via Facebook. I'm sorry. Right. I would hope they're doing well. Another question that, I think Sean's going to ask, and maybe he asked this on, the last time he was on Hot Ones, Tom Segura was on Hot Ones, which was, back in June of 2018, which was quite a while ago. And that is, because Tom Segura is actually married to another comedian, Christina P., who is actually quite funny as well. So, maybe we should get her on Hot Ones, too. That'd be fun. Or maybe she'll make an appearance. That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be pretty awesome if that were to happen. So there's always that. And what life living with a comedian for a wife is like, that'd be another question to ask. This is actually another one. And this is something I didn't really know about Tom Segura until I saw him Tacos con Todo, which is another First Week Feast show that Tom Segura guest starred in. And believe it or not, Tom Segura is, I forget what his nationality is, but he can speak Spanish. Actually, yeah, I forget what nationality he is, but it's definitely one of the Spanish-speaking countries. I bring this up because, no kidding, he actually did, I don't know if he did a stand-up special, but I know he did like a stand-up hour. I don't know if it was like an actually aired special that you could find like online or something. But he actually did an entire stand-up routine completely and utterly in Spanish. Yeah, he did. So it begs the question, is Sean going to ask about that? That'd be something quite interesting to think about. You know, so again, it's going to be up in the air. There's 10 questions. I'm sure let's be honest, one thing I don't think we all realize about Hot Ones is when it comes to who the guest is, there are so many questions that Sean Evans really could ask about them. Really, there are. But the thing of it is, there's only 10 ways. So really, it's going to be boiled down to like 10 questions. And one of them is an Explain That Gram, where they do deep dives on people's Instagrams to, find cool pictures and get more context about them. So really, it's 9 questions when you think about it. I could very well be wrong about that. And, if I am wrong, feel free to point out in the comments, in a way that's actually respectful, please. Because, again, I mean no disrespect when I accidentally say anything wrong. If it's completely by accident, of course I don't mean for it to happen. But, yeah, you could definitely, if I ever, do or say anything wrong, please feel free to put a comment comment on it. Because, I can handle feedback fine. To be perfectly honest, I know that you're not supposed to read the comments, but to be perfectly honest, so few people comment on my videos that, I just read them just because, hey, someone actually commented and noticed. You noticed me, thank you. You like me. You really like me. Sorry. I had to throw that in there. I had to. So, yeah. Really looking forward to Hot Ones today. Last night I had dinner with my folks. We had a salad. We had smashed potatoes. And I actually made pork chops. Yeah, I actually made some pork chops for my folks. I had to be in charge of cooking. So, actually, the way I make... That's actually one thing I always do get a little nervous about cooking is because, you see shows like Chopped or, any of those other shows, like Guys Grocery Games, where, they always say, you need a little more salt or there's not enough seasoning. I assure you, if I was ever on those shows, I would have the opposite problem. Because I actually tend to sometimes oversalt my food. But in this regard, actually, maybe if I was on one of those shows, they probably wouldn't even notice at all. It's really probably my folks that are, kind of wusses. Anyway, not really much else left to do or talk about. Hot Ones is going to be premiering today. I'm glad I got to talk about In the Heights again, which again I'll be putting a link in the description down below as to the trailer, which, man, I hope it's good. I really want it to be good. Because, as you guys know, I did, contemplate suicide back when I was attorney Polly. And we had seen In the Heights shortly after the death, a couple of months after the death of Andrew Weinstein. And, everyone was still in that sort of recovery sort of trying to move on period which everyone does when they grieve or whatever. I say this on all of you. For any of us who went to go see In the Heights, after we saw that Broadway show, a lot of us are feeling a heck of a lot better. I know I certainly was. In fact, a lot of us felt so much better, in fact, that if you had like money to buy a concert album or go buy it on iTunes, that's exactly what you did. Needless to say, In the Heights music was playing a lot. And I do mean a lot at Trinity Poly. And it was some of the best time I had there. Just like doing this is some of the best time I'm having right now. Like, favorite, check out the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, on YouTube. I'm your home. I made this video for all of you guys who watched and enjoyed today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to channel, we're going to be here to let you know. Everybody, take care and make good choices. And remember, kids, there are people who eat buffalo wings with blue cheese and those who are wrong. Bye.